Zoe the orangutan needed help breastfeeding. Her first baby had to be hand-raised after she failed to nurse him. Metrochman Zoo staff were determined to teach Zoe how to nurse. When Zoe delivered her second baby, our vet contacted Whitley Turner, a zookeeper and new mom herself, for an extraordinary favor.
Cheryl, our vet, called me and she said, "Can you bring your baby in and feed him in front of Zoe because she had a baby?"
Whitley agreed to help, and she and her baby Caleb arrived at the orangutan's indoor house soon after Zoe gave birth. It's likely Zoe never learned how to be a mom since she was orphaned at 9 months old when her mother died unexpectedly. Whitley was excited to share her breastfeeding knowledge with Zoe.
I just had my breastfeeding bra on and I was able to show her everything with zero modesty. I wanted her to be able to see the whole process because orangutans don't wear shirts. I wanted her to be able to see my breasts and see Caleb and be able to see him rooting and looking for it and the latch. With my bra down, I was very exaggerated when I put him on so that she could see that like the baby goes here, and the whole time I was talking to her and pointing at her, pointing at the baby, pointing at her breast, and when Caleb was latched I was like showing it to her and making sure that she saw the important part. The whole time she just kept watching me like curious. She didn't immediately breastfeed her baby, but she was definitely watching the whole time.
Soon after, Zoe nursed her baby for the first time.
You have a father, he becomes a father-in-law. You have a son, he becomes a son-in-law. You have a daughter, she becomes a daughter-in-law. You have a mother, she becomes a mother-in-law. You have a wife, what does she become? She is the law.
You got a felony. You got a felony. Man, your road looks tough ahead, gonna be miles and miles away from your bed. The judge's words repeating in your head, boy, you got a felony. Yeah, you got a felony.
Smithson said, "A sign of great parenting is not the child's behavior, but the parent's behavior." So I put myself in timeout with a beer because I wasn't being fun to be.
This ladder stayed in the house yesterday. This ladder stayed outside. Right off the bat, this ladder looks better than this ladder. That's how we view people. We don't take into consideration that this poor bastard stayed outside all night in the cold and the rain and all the other shit. And sometimes all you need in life is a little bit of help. So y'all don't be too quick to judge. We all go through shit. Be there for somebody sometimes. They may need you, and by God, you may need them. Y'all be cool, stay classy. I love you.
I feel like we don't speak about this enough is people don't realize how often men are experiencing a lack of intimacy. And the only place that they can experience that intimacy is through sex. We've created a society where men are so afraid to be vulnerable with each other, to be, sensitive with each other, to care for each other, to love each other.
Is there anything I can do to help you?
I could use a hug.
I'll give you a hug. Seems like you got a lot going on, man. It's all right. It's all right, man.
I hope we get to the place where guys go, oh, I actually didn't need the sex. I needed to be held. And I live in a society where it's hard to be held unless I'm having sex. Because as guys, you can't just go to a guy and be like, just hold me.
Oh, this is nice.
Thankful for you. You'll never know how much.
There are many sex workers who've talked about this, where they'll talk about how many men will pay them and then say, hey, can we just talk?
I want to kill myself.
Fill this out.
Let me remind you that everybody is not built like you, and everybody is not possessed with the same spirit as you, because everybody is not serving the same God. So therefore, you got to make sure that you do not disappoint yourself expecting someone to give you the same energy that you're willing to give them.
He said, Dad, guess which is it? Is it NBA or NFL? 36 have been accused of spousal abuse. 7 have been arrested for fraud. 19 have been accused of writing bad checks. 117 have directly or indirectly been bankrupted at least 2 businesses. 3 have done time for assault. 71, I repeat, 71 cannot get a credit card due to their bad credit. 14 have been arrested on drug-related charges. 8 have been arrested for shoplifting. 21 currently are defendants in lawsuits, and 84 have been arrested for drunk driving in the last year. How many of you think NBA? How many of you think NFL? Well, the answer is neither. It's the 435 members of the United States Congress.
Hold on, grandbaby. Now, before you scroll, you mind to with your papa, please? Thank you, grandbaby. I just love you, and I miss you, and I hope you have a good day today, because if not, I hope your day gets better, because you deserve it, grandbaby. Yes, you do. Cheers and salute to you. Boy, you gotta love that tea right there. That's so good. Anywho, grandbaby, I'm gonna be honest with you. We have to stop trying to change people just to meet our standards, all right? Stop trying to change people just to meet our standards, grandbaby, all right? Even if we want to change them for the better, that's not our job to do that. We cannot change them, grandbaby. That is not our job. That's not our responsibility. That's not our obligation, and we can't put that on ourselves. We cannot, all right? If you are peanut butter and they are pickle juice, it is not your job to turn that pickle juice into jelly, all right? It's not your job, and you just can't. You can't do it, all right? So keep that in mind, grandbaby. Don't do that for your own sanity and for theirs too, all right? Keep that in mind. Now, I love you, and I always will love you, okay? Now, have them on your tea, and you can go. Now, you take care now. I love you again, grandbaby. Bye-bye.
Not just in the pool. You don't say it anywhere.
No.
And what else do we not say?
Say what the fuck? No.
No, because what is that? That's a bad word.
Yeah.
Right? And we ignored it.
What the fuck is this bad word?
We ignored it all day yesterday, and you just didn't stop.
What the fuck is the bad
Right,
word?
but you have to stop. Okay, we're done. We're not doing it anymore.
Don't say what the fuck, and don't say stupid.
Right. Okay, we got that covered. We're not gonna say it in the pool. We're not gonna say it outside of this room. Not gonna say it anymore. Okay?
King Maggie.
Let me say this real quick. I don't know why every time something goes left in education that they think the right thing to do is to involve teachers, because it's not, okay? Let's be clear that your solution to school shootings cannot be to give teachers guns, okay? That's not our job. We are not first responders. We are not the military. And once again, we are not heroes. It is not our job to put our life on the line to save kids. That's not what teaching is. So giving us guns is not the solution. When the plumbing goes out at the doctor's office, the nurse is not a plumber for the day. So I don't know why y'all continue to ask teachers to bend over backwards to make this education system work. Giving us guns is not the solution. It's not. Because who's to say that I want to shoot a gun? I don't like guns. Who's to say that I want to shoot a gun? Who's to say that I want to be in that toe-to-toe standoff with a gunman? This ain't the Wild Wild West. So I'm telling you right now, giving teachers guns is not the solution. Not because they may kill a kid, because it does not make sense. Asking teachers to have guns in case a shooter comes in the building is beyond me. It's beyond me. There is no other job in the world where they would ask people to carry guns to protect the workplace. Let's be clear. Stop asking teachers to do things that you wouldn't ask nobody else.